Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds. Welcome back to the channel where history meets money, and pocket change could lead to a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the world of numismatics, the legendary 1982 Lincoln 1-cent coin. Yes, that little copper-colored penny that's probably hiding somewhere in your change jar, your grandma's drawer, or even under your couch cushion could actually be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. In fact, depending on the variety, condition, and rarity, some of these 1982 pennies have been known to fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But what makes the 1982 penny so special? What should you be looking for? And how can you tell if you're holding onto a gold mine without even realizing it? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything there is to know about the 1982 Lincoln penny, from its fascinating history, to its mind-blowing varieties, to how much it's really worth in today's market. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this. Let's rewind to 1982. Ronald Reagan had just become president, Michael Jackson's Thriller was about to change music forever, and the US Mint made a major decision that would affect every single penny in your pocket. That year, due to rising copper prices, the US Mint transitioned from the traditional 95% copper composition to a new, more affordable copper-plated zinc. Sounds simple, right? But this change didn't happen all at once. In fact, 1982 is the only year in US coin history when both copper and zinc pennies were struck, and that's just the beginning. The mint didn't just change the metal, they also had two different sizes of the date numerals on the coins that year, the large date and the small date. That gives us a total of 7 known varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent. Yes, you heard that right. 7. Here they are: 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982D large date copper, 1982D large date zinc, 1982D small date zinc, and this last one is incredibly rare now. Here's where things get exciting. One of the rarest and most valuable of them all is the 1982D small date, made of copper. For years, experts believed it didn't exist, until one day, a few specimens were discovered, and the numismatic world went wild. Only a handful of 1982D small date copper pennies are known to exist. In top mint condition, one of these coins once sold for over $18,000 at auction. That's right, $18,000 for a single penny. Even some of the more common 1982 varieties can sell for impressive amounts, especially if they're in pristine uncirculated condition or graded MS65 or higher by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. We're talking $10, $20, $50, and in rare cases, even more than $100 for 1 cent. So, how can you tell what kind of 1982 penny you have? First, you'll need a good scale, because copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. Even 1/10 of a gram makes a difference. Next, you'll want to examine the date closely. Look at the number 2 in 1982. If it's curved and chunky, it's probably a large date. If it looks sharper, thinner, and more delicate, it's likely a small date. And here's a pro tip: always keep an eye out for that elusive 1982D small date copper. If your scale says 3.11 grams and it has that small date from the Denver Mint, you may want to get it authenticated, because you could be holding a mini fortune in your fingers. Now let's talk about the market value. As of now, in 2025, a regular 1982 Lincoln penny in circulated condition might not be worth more than face value. But collectors are actively buying and selling high-grade examples and rare varieties every single day. According to recent market trends, the average price for a high-quality 1982 penny is around 19 cents, almost 20 times its face value. Not bad for something you probably thought was just spare change, and the truth is, the market is growing. More people are getting into coin collecting, and as demand goes up, prices can rise. So if you've got a stash of old pennies, it's time to take a second look. That boring old cent could be your ticket to a coin collector's dream payday. Imagine finding a rare coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, just lying around in a jar. That's not just a fantasy, it's happened to real people just like you. And with over 10 billion pennies minted in 1982, there's still a chance that more rare varieties are waiting to be discovered. So start hunting. Check your change. Look through your coin rolls. Visit local flea markets and garage sales. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting for you. If you found this video helpful, interesting, or just plain exciting, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome coin collecting content every single week. We've got deep dives, hidden gems, and valuable tips to turn your coin collection into a treasure chest. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, because the next coin we talk about might be the one in your pocket right now. This is GZ Coins World, and until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and as always, happy collecting. Great fellows, again back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable currency that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Now we're unlocking the story behind a seemingly ordinary penny, the 2001 D Lincoln cent. You might think, it's just a penny, but this little copper-plated beauty could be worth much more than 1 cent. In fact, some collectors are paying well above face value for it, and you're about to find out why.so. Grab your coin jars, open that old wallet, and let's see if you've got one of these hidden gems that could be worth a lot of money. Segment 1. The history of the 2001 D Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The 2001 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, which is why it has the little D mint mark under the date. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front of the penny features the familiar profile of President Lincoln. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was in use from 1959 all the way until 2008. The year 2001 is part of this historic run, and over 5.3 billion of these coins were minted at the Denver Mint. So yes, they're common, but not all 2001 D pennies are created equal. Segment 2. What makes a 2001 D penny valuable? Okay, so here's where it gets exciting. Most 2001 D Lincoln cents are worth just a penny, maybe slightly more if they're in uncirculated condition. But certain versions, especially those with errors, high grades, or special finishes, can fetch serious money from collectors. Let's break this down. The better the condition, the higher the value. A 2001 D penny that's never been used, also known as uncirculated or mint state, can be worth more than 10 to 20 cents right away. But if it grades above MS65, that's a really sharp strike with minimal blemishes. The value jumps. Coins graded MS67 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC have sold for up to $50 or even more, especially if they have vibrant red color and are free of any spotting or tarnish. Now we're talking real treasure. Error coins are like rare art. They weren't supposed to be made, but they happened by mistake, and now collectors fight to own them. Here are a few error types to look for in the 2001 D Lincoln penny. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment. These can sell for $10 to $100 depending on how dramatic the error is. Double dies, where parts of the design, like Liberty or the date, look doubled. These are often rare and in demand. Clipped planchets, where the coin is missing a curved section due to a mistake in the blank cutting process. Die cracks or cuds, raised lines or blobs caused by damage to the die used to strike the coin. Even small errors can push the value of a single 2001 D penny to $5, $20, or more, depending on the buyer and the rarity. Segment 3. Rarity and demand in the market. So, how rare is the 2001 D penny really? On its own, it's not rare. But finding one in pristine condition, or with a dramatic error, is a different story. Most people don't bother checking their pocket change, which means the market is wide open for those who do. Collectors are always searching for high-grade or unique specimens to complete their sets, especially pennies from every year and mint. And with the Lincoln cent series being one of the most collected in the world, demand is always strong. Even right now, the market value of a 2001 D Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is about $0.0188, or 1.88 cents, almost double its face value. That might not sound like much, but multiply that by a jar full of coins, or find just one rare error, and you're talking real money. Segment 4. What to look for in your change.so. Here's your call to action. Go check your coins, especially those stashed in old piggy banks or inherited from relatives. You're looking for 2001 D pennies with the following: sharp details and minimal scratches. Those might be mint state. Unusual markings like doubling, misalignments, or missing parts. Bright, original red color copper tones fade over time. Redder means better. Once you've found a potential winner, you can check online marketplaces like eBay, or submit it to a coin grading service if it looks truly exceptional. Segment 5. Real-life sales and auctions. Just to give you a few examples. A 2001 D penny in MS68 red sold at auction for over $80, and yes, that's 8,000 times its face value. Another penny with a dramatic off-center strike sold for $45 on eBay. Even circulated coins with neat die cracks or minor double dies have sold for $10 to $25. It all comes down to condition, uniqueness, and collector demand. So there you have it, the 2001 D Lincoln penny. Small, humble, often overlooked, but sometimes surprisingly valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what your change might be worth, it's always worth taking a second look. Because that 1-cent coin in your hand could be worth 50 cents, $10, or even more. So keep hunting, keep checking, and most importantly, don't throw away your pennies. You never know which one could be your lucky find. Make sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more awesome coin stories and money mysteries, and comment below if you've ever found a rare or valuable penny. We love hearing your treasure tales. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny be a gold mine. Dear fellows, now, we dig deep into the pocket change in your drawers, your piggy banks, and maybe even your car's cup holder, because today's loose change might just be tomorrow's treasure. In this video, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2060 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that's worth just a penny on the surface but might actually be worth much more depending on its condition, rarity, and unique errors. So stick around, because we're breaking down the history, hidden secrets, current market value, and exactly what to look for to see if your 2060 penny is worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Section 1. History of the Lincoln penny. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first issued to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the first time a real person appeared on regular U.S. coinage. Before Lincoln, coins typically featured symbolic representations of liberty. From 1959 to 2008, the reverse side of the coin featured the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at this design with a magnifying glass, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Pretty cool, right? Now fast forward to 2006. We're in the last few years before the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design in 2009 for Lincoln's bicentennial. That makes coins from this period extra interesting to collectors, especially the Denver Mint version, which is exactly what the 2060 penny is. Section 2. 2060 SPCIFICATIONS. Alright, here are the quick facts you need to know about the 2060 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver composition. 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper weight, 2.5 grams design. Obverse front features Lincoln's profile. Reverse back shows the Lincoln Memorial designer, Victor David Brenner for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse. Over 4.2 billion 2060 pennies were minted, which is a massive number. So yes, most of them are common. But here's the twist: not all 2060 pennies are created equal. Some are hiding mint errors, double dies, or are in such perfect condition that collectors are ready to pay serious money. Section 3. Rare errors to look for. Now this is where things get exciting. If you have a 2060 penny, check it carefully. There are some extremely valuable errors that can turn your 1-cent coin into a serious payday. Here are the ones to look out for. One of the most sought-after errors. Look at the inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. If the letters or numbers appear to have a slight shadow or doubling effect, you might be holding a double die coin. If the design is not perfectly centered and part of it is missing, that's called an off-center strike. The more off-center without losing the date, the more it's worth. These errors can range in value from $10 to over $150. Look for raised lines or blobs of metal in strange places like Lincoln's head, around the letters, or near the memorial. These die breaks are popular with error collectors. Some have fun names like spiked head or extra ear errors. This quirky die break happens between the B and E in Liberty, making it look like it says BIE. It's a classic and highly collectible variety. Use a jeweler's loupe or a digital microscope to inspect your coins. The tiniest detail can make the biggest difference. Section 4. Market value and sales. Now the big question: how much is a 2060 penny actually worth? As of now, a typical circulated 2060 penny is worth about 1 cent to 3 cents. But don't stop there. Uncirculated coins, those in mint state condition, can sell for $1 to $10 or more, depending on grade. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC have fetched prices as high as $100 to $300 in auctions. That's 30,000 times its face value. And coins with major errors, those can go for $50 to several $100s, depending on how rare and dramatic the error is. In fact, a 2060 penny with a sharp off-center strike and full visible date sold for over $150. Another with a dramatic die clash brought in nearly $200. That's a lot of money for a coin you might find in your change jar. Section 5. How to sell and what to do. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 2060 penny? First, take high-quality photos of the coin both front and back and note any errors or features. Next, compare it to verified listings on eBay, Heritage Auctions, or PCGS Coinfax. Join coin collector groups online on Facebook, Reddit, or coin community forums and ask for opinions. If it looks promising, consider having it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can drastically increase a coin's value and trustworthiness in the marketplace. When you're ready to sell, options include online auction sites like eBay, dedicated numismatic auction houses, or even local coin dealers. The 2060 Lincoln penny is a reminder that not all treasure glitters. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. With a little knowledge and a careful eye, you can turn everyday coins into exciting finds. Even if your 2060 penny isn't rare, it's part of an incredible American tradition that dates back more than a century. So go check your coin jar, your couch cushions, and your change at the grocery store. You never know when you might strike copper gold. If you found this video helpful or interesting, smash that like button and subscribe for more coin videos, rare finds, and numismatic tips every week. Got a coin you want us to cover next? Drop it in the comments below. We love hearing from our fellow collectors. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and as always, happy hunting.